Three, two. Welcome in, Torin. What up?
Welcome in, Steez. How's it going?
I just want to show you. I got a little
Oh,
Jamaican flavor right here
hooray beer.
in honor of spoiler alert. Bailey's making my top 50.
Oh, shit.
Gotta do it, dude. Gotta give
We
him
already have
respect.
our first disagreement. He's not on mine.
Spoiler, I squeezed Leon Bailey into my top 5 Premier League players right now. I don't even care if it's
Love it.
not true. I need it. I needed him.
You went out and bought that beer, too, just for this, I know.
No, I would never. I would never. All right, so yeah, we're gonna do our top 50 Premier League players. Right now. How I thought about this was these are the best players right now, combined with also just who's the better player. So it's not just okay. So and so has more goals this season, so he's better than this player. Like, for example, Kevin De Bruyne has been injured and hasn't played that much. I have him above Mbomo, who's got more goals and assists and is having a better season. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
it's difficult to nail down an exact definition, but that's kind of my thinking as I went through it. If there was a tiebreaker on two players that were close in my rankings, I went, okay, who's better? Who would you rather have on your team? This guy. How about you?
Yeah, same there. I feel like this season or the last couple seasons probably being weighed a little bit higher than just past performance. But in general, a balance of skill level and historic playing ability combined with who's good right now. Trying to strike that balance as well as I could. But some really tough decisions in this list.
Dude, it's
I think
hard.
it was as you start getting into the latter stages of the group, it becomes really difficult to split the hairs, especially when we talk about different types of positions, maybe different types of teams that people play on. So there's a lot of factors to juggle in doing a list like this.
The positional thing is really tough because you're like, okay, how do you value a right back versus a center mid versus a left winger versus striker versus it's so difficult. I know that there's going to be controversy on our list, but I urge you to try it yourself and realize how difficult it is to rank so many different players that play different positions. It's nearly impossible.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I'm interested to see your list. You've seen mine. I sent you mine first, but
so I've glanced at Austin's. After I made my own list, so I actually don't remember at all where he had many players, so it'll still be kind of a surprise to me. But we each did this independently. We're going to look at what we came up with, and then at the end, we're going to look at a combined rankings list with both of our results combined. So we'll share that at the end as well after we get through this.
Before we jump in, I just want to tell you my strategy.
Okay.
I went through each roster. I made vertical column to each roster, and I just basically ranked each team's players on that team. So I was like, okay, Man City, here's who I think the best player is down. Liverpool, same story. And then from those groups, I kind of picked each one and went, okay, who's one, who's two, and I went off of that. That's kind of how I because I knew if I did it another way, I was gonna forget somebody.
Yeah. So I wanted to do the exercise on my own first. Was who comes to mind and who, just to get that out on paper first, not in any sort of rank or order, but just who are the players that jump off the list. So I probably got, I don't know, 25, 30 names out there doing that. And then I went back to make sure, like you said, that we're not missing somebody. So I opened up, I didn't go through every team entirely, but I opened up the rosters just to glance and make sure I wasn't missing anybody. But kind of a combined method with what you did and just off the top of my head as well.
Okay. All right. One last thing before we jump into it. I am staying true to my word. I was not able to drink last week, and I lost a few
Oh shit!
bets. So I got right here. Beer bongs for peace.
Let's
Beer
go.
bong for the top 50. Here we go.
YouTube beer bong. Let's go. Let's go. Damn, what a pro.
Can't spill a
Down
drop when
that
you're
thing.
sitting in your own house.
That was amazing. A man of his word. I owe you one now.
All right, now I'm ready to go.
Yeah, he's stoked. Let's go.
And another red stripe ready to go, Leon Bailey style.
Woo!
But we're not starting at the back. He's at the back of my list. We'll start at the top.
Okay.
So I feel like this has to be consensus. I had Mo Salah as my number one.
Me as well.
Agreed? I mean, I don't think there's any debate.
Yeah, I think either way you split it, whether you look at this year or you just look at historical performance, the most, recent couple years, however you split this, he's maintained being healthy. He's playing a ton. He's still so impactful and so good. Still at the top of the scoring list as we've seen this year. He deserves to be number one.
Okay. How do you spell consensus? Did I spell that right? Might not have. One, Mo Salah. No doubt. All right. Number two, I think we're already going to deviate because
Okay.
my pick, I thought about this a lot and I was like, you know what? I went back and forth on it and I finally decided that it is, in my mind, the right thing to do. And I put Erling Haaland second. What'd you do?
Okay. I went Saka second.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. I have him a little lower. Saka is my sixth player.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I have Haaland at 4. So
okay.
Yeah, I think this is where we're going to get into a little bit of position bias at times. Haaland he's an unbelievable striker. He doesn't impact the game at all times, and a lot of times he will, if he's not getting service, kind of go absent. So I think I value the attacking midfield players a little bit more, and I think that's what impacted my list here, my spot for him.
That's the argument for it, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If he needs service to do his job well, but he does his job better than anybody at his position, even an informed Isak. So I feel like it's valued more. Like if you swapped Erling Haaland onto Arsenal and Saka onto Man City, I think Erling Haaland has more of an impact on Arsenal.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong in that particular situation. However, that's just much more of a byproduct of the team
of the
around
situation they're in right now. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So, if I try to think from the perspective of like, if I was building a team, yes, you would love to have Haaland, but I think it's more important and a more impactful position to have a player that can create more and create attacks and just bring so much threat off the wing against other teams.
Okay. Well, then how about this? My number 3 is Cole Palmer.
Same.
Okay. So he's our consensus number 2 then. All right. Cole Palmer, number 2. I think that makes sense. I don't think there's much debate on him being a top 3 player. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's just been balling the last more than a calendar year at this point. Last like year and a half, he's probably been.
I was screaming last year that he should have been player of the year in the Premier League. He was insane last year. Obviously, doing a list like this, there could be people that, say he's still kind of new on the block, hasn't fully established himself over a long period of time. That's a valid point to say. But what we have seen in this short spell is insane. And I think he was robbed last year of being player of the year, and Foden took it instead, which was ridiculous. We're seeing this year just, how much more impactful and how much better he is. And he deserves to be right at the top here.
Okay. All right. So here's where I jump positions. I put Virgil van Dijk as my number 4.
Shit. Okay.
I value him a ton. I think he is the catalyst of that defense. Really important to that team. And he just does it all. He does it all at a really high level. I think he's the best center back in the league. So that's why I put him there.
Yeah, so I didn't jump to defense that quick. He did make my top 10.
Okay.
I do think he is still the best defender. I had him at number 9 on my list.
So who's your 1, 2, 3 then?
So I have Salah, Saka, Palmer at the top with Haaland in 4th. Well, you have Salah, Haaland, Palmer, and then Van Dijk.
So would Haaland be our consensus number 3 then?
I mean, yeah, from a ratings perspective, it's Palmer and Haaland as a tied split. So there'll have to be some sort of deciding factor there.
Well, maybe the fact that you gave... I already put in Cole Palmer at number 2, so we'll do Haaland at number 3. Number 4, then, I don't know who it would be. I have Isak at 5.
Let's see. I have Odegaard at 5.
Okay. I have Odegaard at 9th.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read you my top 10, and I think that then we can kind of do the consensus in there. So I have Mo Salah 1, Erling Haaland 2, Cole Palmer 3, Virgil van Dijk 4, Isak 5, Saka 6, Gabriel 7, Saliba 8. I had to put Gabriel and Saliba right next to each other because they just have to be. And then I have Odegaard 9, and I put my boy Son at 10th.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely had the other defenders a little bit lower on the list. I have Saliba pretty high, but outside the top 10. And then I have Gabriel lower on that list. But my top 10, so I mentioned Salah, Saka, Palmer, Haaland in 4, Odegaard 5. I have De Bruyne 6, Bruno Fernandes 7, Son 8, Van Dijk 9, I already mentioned, and then Matoma 10.
Oh, my man! That's what I'm talking about.
10th. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He is incredible, man. He is just not talked about nearly enough.
Dude, I thought I had him high at 16. Dude, I love that you have him in the top 10. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I put De Bruyne 11th.
Okay.
I think healthy, he's number 2.
Yeah.
But I had to dock him on the health. So that's what I did. He's just not playing
it's
his
tough.
standards, and he's not out there every day. But I still think if you guarantee his health, he'll be top player in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. These ones where players are, not at their peak currently for injuries or whatever reason. It's really tough to figure out where they should fall. I feel like he was still so good, as you mentioned, probably should be at number 2 if he's healthy.
Yeah,
that I couldn't drop him too far down the list. So
I'm
definitely okay.
That's just not. That's like really off brand for me.
I'm totally fine with where you had him, to be honest. But he just, like I said, it's tough to measure all these players against each other, and so I think a lot of times was kind of measuring players in their positions against other players in their positions.
Yes,
and so I was like, I put Odegaard ahead of him, but I feel like the sort of Odegaard, De Bruyne, Bruno like trio, I had to figure that out, and I just had to give the edge to him over Bruno.
Oh yeah, Bruno is much further down on my list. All right, so you have the consensus numbers in front of you then, right?
Yeah, well, give me again your 7, 8, 9, and 10.
My 7, 8, 9, 10 is Gabriel, Saliba, Odegaard. I put the 4 Arsenal players together. I went Saka, Gabriel, Saliba, Odegaard.
Okay.
And then I have Son in 10th.
Son in 10th. Okay. Yeah, so let me get these players on the list. So we have
and then I have De Bruyne in 11th. So he's probably going to be in there because you had him in there.
Yeah, so let me sort this.
And I didn't really know what to do. I'll talk about my number 12.
Uh-huh.
I put Foden number 12. I do think, I know we clown on it all the time that he won Player of the Year incorrectly last year.
Uh-huh.
But he still had a great season. and he's still
Oh, so you kept him up at 12. Okay.
I put him at 12, but he hasn't been playing like that this year. But I do think he's still a top-notch player.
Okay. Did you say you had De Bruyne at 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Purely based on health, I had to dock him.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. Let's get through a few more because there's players like I haven't gotten to or vice versa. That'll be I need to get scores for those. So really tell us where we're going to average out to.
So who's your 10 to 15?
Yeah, so I had Matoma at 10.
Matoma at 10, dude. I fucking love that. I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
I have Matoma at 16.
Okay. I mean, still top 20. I mean, that's still like very worthy for him.
He's
like,
top 20.
Yeah, definitely. Right. And he's not talked about like it. So I have Isak at 11, then Saliba at 12. I have Ollie Watkins at 13.
Okay.
And Bumo at 14.
My fucking dog. Dude, I got him Bumo at 14 too. He's our consensus 14. Hell yeah. He deserves it.
And then I have Cunha at 15.
Oh, interesting. So
I think he's
Cunha
so good.
lower.
He's just getting wasted on a shit team.
Yeah, you definitely value him more than me. I think he's really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a tough one for me. I have him in the 40s.
Okay.
So he's not going to be in our top 10.
Yeah, it is rough. That's rough. All right, give me your 11 through 15.
My 11 through 15 is De Bruyne at 11. Foden at 12. I had to do it, dude, but Anthony Robinson deserves to be up here.
Let's go.
Drink, U.S. player. Number 13. Lucky number 13, baby.
Let's go.
And then I have Mbomo, 14th, like you. I have Bruno Guimaraes in 15th.
Yeah, I have him at 16.
And then Matoma at 16.
Right behind you there.
Yeah.
The Matoma at 16. Okay. Love that.
All right, let me keep going. I'll finish my top 20.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to have him because I value this player more than most. But I have McAllister from Liverpool in 17th.
Okay.
I think, talk about unsung heroes. That guy is an incredible all-around player. Mm-hmm. Really important to the team. I have Diaz right behind him in 18th.
Okay.
Then I have Bruno Fernandes in 19th. And I put Anthony Gordon in 20th.
Okay. Higher than I would think for you. Okay.
He's a handful, man. That attack, when you have Jacob Murphy playing like a pro, like that attack is filthy.
you know he's hoping open that up for him too.
It's crazy. Yeah, Gordon's a handful. I put him up there. I think he's been playing really well, and I really like it.
Yeah, so let me see where to.
And did you catch his trolling he did after they won midweek? Did you see that? They beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, and post-match interview, he's like, "Yeah, we just got to make sure we stay humble."
Yeah.
So good, dude. So funny.
And with a straight face.
So fucking funny. They
calculated.
Stomped him 4-0 on aggregate.
So good. All right, so my 16 through 20, I mentioned I had Guimaraes at 16 right behind you. I have Eze at 17.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I have Madison at 18, this was a tough one. I think he is
struggled with too.
He's so good, but the injury, I'm fine with people, discounting him with the injuries he takes on. But when he is playing, he is one of the best creators in the league. It's incredible. Free kicks, open play, whatever. I love watching him play.
I have him in my 30s. I feel like he's not a true complete player, but he is right up there. Like I was talking to you offline. Mm-hmm. Anywhere between 20 and like 70, I feel like you could make a case. You could make a case for players to flip flop. It's kind of a crazy thing to do. What we're doing.
Yeah. So the averages I think are going to tell us a lot where players kind of should fall in balancing our two sides out. And then At 19, I have once again Drink Anthony Robinson.
Hell yeah, you kept him in the top 20. I like it.
Top 20 as well. Deserved, man. Like this is not a homer thing. Like he has played so well for 2 years now.
Dude,
Deserves
second
to
in
be
the
in
league in
there.
assists
Mm-hmm.
from left back. And he defends also. He's not just a forward playing winger.
Mm-hmm. Ballin. And then at 20, I have Foden. So Foden sneaks into the top 20.
I think that's fair. I think I have Foden a little too high with how he's performing this year, but I
Mm-hmm.
did want to give him credit for last year because he did play really well, and not just go off recent play. But yeah, I think 20 is probably a fair spot for him. All right, you're gonna like my next 5, I think.
Okay.
21, I have Jared Bowen.
Me too.
Get the fuck out of here. Really? I thought I had him
21.
super high. Dude, he talk about getting no love. Like, of all the English players that just get circle jerked about, like, by the English media, like, Jared Bowen's just standing there on the side like nobody cares about him.
Yeah, he's in that tough.
He is so good, dude. He's
in that
so
tough
good.
spot where it's like he doesn't have like a role fitting in with the national team, and I think you just get left by the wayside.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like Saka's younger and better than you, so like you can't play. Like, I don't know, man. He is so good. I think he is criminally underrated, undervalued. I have him at 21.
He has been hurt for a bit, so he's a little bit, I think, out of people's minds recently.
And
but
West
he's
Ham
back
have been
now.
sucking.
Yeah, West Ham has sucked, but he has shown huge flashes over the last few years. Not just last year either, like the last few years, right? He's been playing really well and been kind of the heartbeat of that team.
All right, I have Ollie Watkins at 22.
Okay.
I think you had him a little higher.
Yep.
This next guy was really tough for me, but I had to give him respect for how well he's been playing. I put Chris Wood in 23.
Nice. I like it.
I just think he deserves the love. He's been playing so well. He's helped get his team to 3rd in the league. Like, come on.
Yeah. He made my list too, but not in the 20s.
And then I have Eze, 24. And then I put Declan Rice in 25.
Okay.
Say what you will about that price tag. I think they overpaid for him, but he is a vital player on that team, and he helps them tremendously.
Yeah, so speaking of Rice, I have him at 22, so in the same range, but a little bit higher. This is where I slid in Trent Alexander-Arnold at 23.
Okay.
I expected to be much lower on your list.
Not a ton lower. I have him in 29th. But,
okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe a little bit of surprise. I have Diallo here for Man U.
No, that is a big surprise.
This is very much a recency pick, I would say, but he has become the most dynamic player that team has. Like, he has been played really well this year. He's so young still. I feel like he deserves to be in this conversation. You could make the argument it's still too fresh and too new, and obviously they've been playing pretty poorly.
That would be my argument.
But he is a shining beacon on that team this year. If you're going to look at one spot and be happy and be surprised, it's that guy. I think he's played so well. He's such a huge future.
For sure. I'll give you that. I need to see more. Okay, so that was was he your 25th? What was he?
That was 24. And then at 25, I have another. This is my second center back. So I had Anthony Robinson at 19, but I have Ruben Diaz at 25, who I think is still really good.
Agreed. I struggled with him.
Never talked about it all anymore.
Injury lately.
Yeah.
So I did drop him a little lower, but I think that's a good spot to have him. Where do I have him? I have him somewhere on my list. Maybe I removed him because of the injury. Yeah, I don't think I put him on because of the injury, but yeah, he should be on there. I think you're right. Oh, did I skip him? I have him 18th. I forget.
Diaz?
That was Liverpool Diaz.
Yeah, I was thinking that was Luis
wrong.
Diaz.
Okay. That is the wrong Diaz.
Okay, I was like, whoa,
Liverpool. Yeah, I didn't put him on my list. He should be though. He's a top 50 player. Okay, let me do my 26 to 30 then.
Okay.
I have Bernardo Silva at 26 for Man City. The little maestro. I think he's
Okay.
just a really good all-around player. He's not perfect, but he's a really good player. I have your boy Tonali at 27.
Oh shit, he did not make my list.
I think he's fucking good, dude. I think
That was number what?
27.
27.
I
Okay.
think the fact that he missed all of last year really threw his value out the window and kind of
Mm-hmm.
had people forget about him. If he never got suspended and just started playing, I think it would be easy to put him where I put him. And he just does so many things that I like for a midfielder. You know, he's just a really good all around midfielder. I really value him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he makes a run forward, oh, it's
Yeah, I
beautiful.
mean, like you said, I feel like even in this list, the suspension just like almost like took him out of the picture for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just he became less of the focus.
All right, and then I put Morgan Gibbs White in 28th.
Oh wow, okay, much higher than me.
It's higher than I think he should be, but again, I wanted to give him some respect for where he's got his team, and I think he is a good player, but another one of those English guys that never quite gets the publicity that the other guys get,
Mm.
but I think he's just
Mm-hmm.
as good as most of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another Englishman in 29. This is where, excuse me, beer bong coming back up. 29. It's not just because I have to say Trent
Obi Wan.
Alexander Arnold, but
Oh, he didn't like that.
he's my 29. And then I put Cody Gakpo in 30th.
Oh, all the way up there. Okay, okay.
He's good, dude. I fucking love Cody
He's really
Gakpo.
good. That was a tough one with like the playing time. I think he's so good and he deserves to be a full-time starter, but Liverpool was tough with like how good the team is and that potentially skewing values of players, and then
Yes.
B, especially on the attacking side, some of these playing time combinations besides Salah, it's tough, man.
Here,
Like
here's
I
our
really struggle with it.
when I see Cody Gakpo play, he's always a problem for the defense. He's always pressing, creating chances, or finishing
Hmm.
chances. Um, I did it this way when I thought about Cody Gakpo. If you took Cody Gakpo and just put him on Arsenal,
Hmm.
he's a full time starter, is he not?
Yeah, we'd be starting striker.
Or on the left wing over Martinelli, over
Oh yeah, yeah.
Trossard.
If you want him to play where he plays for Liverpool, yeah.
If you put him on Man City, I think he would start. Like maybe Savinho right now. Like, but with their
Yeah.
current squad, like I think he's starting.
Yeah, maybe starting on Man U for sure.
Oh my God, they're not. I'm talking about top six teams here. I'm not talking like bottom level teams. Uh,
Tottenham or something. Yeah.
Tottenham, they have Son on that left side, so like okay, but they would find a
Yeah.
spot for him.
Yeah, but with Solanke out, like
Yeah,
it would be
yeah,
it's
he
perfect
could
to have
play.
somebody
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
versatile.
Mhm.
I value him, so yeah,
Yeah.
I have him on my 30. Who's your 26 to 30?
All right, so this is where I had my wave of defenders. I was trying to figure out,
Yeah.
where they should fit into the to the whole slate here. So I probably should have spent more time here, but I went Romero at 26, who you have
I
deemed
did not
out
rank
of
him because of injury. Yeah.
yeah.
Or Van de Ven. So.
And then I have
Oh, and I don't think we mentioned it, but we are not counting goalies.
we are not counting goalies,
We're not
correct?
counting goalies. Yeah.
And there's always already been a huge omission, a lot of people would point to, and that is Rodri. But as you said, long-term injuries.
Yeah. It's just you can't. Yeah. When you're talking about players right now, it's difficult
Mhm.
with a player that's out for 6 months.
Yeah, so I have four defenders in a row here, but I have Romero I mentioned, then Gabriel, who you had higher on the list. This might be a shock to you, but I have Colwell here for Chelsea.
That is a shock because I think he sucks.
You think he sucks?
I don't think he's good. No.
Wow.
I think he is incredibly mediocre.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, continue.
Well, tell me who a better defender is.
I think first of all, I think Gabriel being below Romero is a travesty. I don't think there's any
Wow,
world
really?
where Romero is better than Gabriel. The consistency with Romero just isn't there that Gabriel has. I think Gabriel is a top notch, like world class center back, and I think Romero is a tier below that.
Guardiola, you think so?
No, not Guardiola. I said
Oh,
Gabriel. You said
okay.
you
Sorry.
said Gabriel, right? No, Guardiola.
I did. Yeah. No, I had Gabriel. Yeah, right behind Romero. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I think we've had this debate before, but I
Yeah.
think Saliba is way better. You think Gabriel's way better, and I think Saliba makes him look a lot better than he is. And Romero to me has proven it on a bigger stage with the World Cup. Yes, he toes that line, which is tough to, always a risk that you're dealing with. But obviously the injury argument is totally fair. But if I were to choose between those two, I would take Romero.
If they're both healthy, I'm taking Gabriel all day.
I'm taking Romero all day.
Yeah.
And then I have at number 30, I have McAllister.
Okay.
So
nice. All right. So we both had him in our top 30. I like that.
Yeah.
I think we both value him. Clearly. Okay. So as you compute, let me list off. I'm going to go a little quicker through these.
Okay.
31, Paqueta. 32, I put Wisa from Brentford.
Okay.
33, I put Caicedo for Chelsea. 34, this is where I put Reece James. I had no idea where to put him.
Ooh. Hi. Okay.
I had to lower him because of injury, but I think if he's 100% healthy, he's a top 20 player. So I put him at 34. Right behind him, I put Andy Robertson. I fucking love Andy Robertson. I just can't help it. I know. I understand. 36.
Who did you have at 31?
31, I had Paqueta.
Okay. Oh, wait. I thought that was 32.
31, Paqueta. 32, Wisa. 33,
okay.
Caicedo. 34, Reece James. 35, Andy Robertson.
Wisa. Okay. I missed the Wisa one. Okay.
Yeah. Wisa's been balling for 2 years. 3 years.
35. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
30s are kind of where I put my defenders. If I keep going,
which is, looking back at this, I would feel the same way. Like I sorted my I would say maybe my top 35, and you could tell all the defenders were near the bottom there.
Yeah.
And then I was I need to flesh this out, and then looked at other names, but I probably should have gone back to revisit that. But it's tough exercise. But 31, I also have Paqueta.
No way, same spot. That's crazy.
Spot, yeah. And then that's where I have Anthony Gordon at 32.
Okay.
And then I have Diaz here at 33, who you had higher.
Yep.
And then I have Wood, who you had higher at 34. And then I have Kobe Mainu at 35.
Aha. I had him right outside my top 50. I was really debating with him, but he's kind of one of those guys where he's shown flashes, but I kind of just want to see a little bit more. And it's also difficult when Man U is sucking all the time to kind of be like, is he just looking good on a shit team? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's not really helping them win. Now fucking Amram's playing him at center forward or whatever the fuck he's doing. It's just he was difficult for me to rank.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, so that was your 35?
Yeah, that was Mainu at 35.
Okay, so 36 for me. I put Konate from Liverpool. He is constantly in Virgil van Dijk's shadow, but he is clearly the best running mate for him on that team. 37 is where I put Madison.
Okay.
38, I put Mark Gahey. Crystal Palace.
Okay.
39, Akanji, Man City.
Okay.
And 40, I had to put my dog John McGinn in.
Nice. He makes the top 50.
He
Let's
makes the
go.
top 50. I put him at 40. I just think he does a lot of good things for your team. Like he's not going to win a foot race. He looks awkward doing everything that he does. And I don't think it's because he's left-footed. He just like kind of has like a weird unorthodox like style.
Uh-huh.
But he always makes the right play. He creates really well and he sets up Ollie Watkins tremendously well. So I put him 40.
I love it. Yeah, no, he was in my mix, but I think he made it into my honorable mention outside the top 50. But I love the pick. I love the poll. Not even top 50, top 40.
He's 40, baby. He hit 40.
Love it. All right, my 36. I have Wissa here, so just a few spots behind you. As you said, performed really well the last few years consistently. Tony leaves. He still played really well, plays well with Mboma, plays well with kind of everybody, which you always love to see. Here I have my next defender, and that's Zabarny on.
The young kid.
Yeah, on Bournemouth. Yeah. I think he's played every time I've watched a game with Bournemouth, he is everywhere. He's winning every 50-50 ball. He's making challenges in the box in smart ways. I haven't seen him. I mean, maybe this is, just a highlight bias, but I haven't seen any mistakes out of him. And he's still young. He's playing constantly. He's just like the heart of that team. I think he's going to be really good for years to come.
Yeah, he was a huge target in the transfer window, and they held on to him because he got so much love. I feel like he's probably gone in the summer. But
yeah, I think so.
Great player.
So as well. At 38, I have Alonga. Don't know.
Oh, nice.
And then I have Aina at 39, another outside back.
Ooh, Nottingham Forest love.
Yeah, 2 in a row. And then I have Damsgaard from Brentford, who I think has really taken a step up this year. He was always like, he always was talked about with a lot of promise. He was kind of the heir apparent to Eriksson when it came to the national team. But I feel like this year he's like broken through. Like now he is at that level. All of the good plays that I see out of Brentford, he's generally involved, whether it's attacking through the middle, attacking down the wing. I'm really excited to watch more of this guy. Hopefully he stays at a team like Brentford where he can play constantly. I don't want to see him leave. But I think he's really taken a step up this year.
I like that. Yeah, I didn't put any other Brentford players in my top 50, sadly. I kind of look at their midfield as like one just clone of a Danish midfielder. Like there's like 3 or 4 of them. I feel like they're all Norgard, Damsgaard. Like they kind of all blur together for me. So yeah, it's hard for one to stand out. Oh wait, was he your 40?
Yeah, he was at 40 for me. Yeah.
All right, so 41. Are you ready?
Uh-oh. What are you going to hit me with here?
Oh, nothing, not that. I was just saying, okay. Get ready for my 41.
Oh, yeah.
41, yeah. I got to put, dude, he's been playing out of his mind. This is why I put him here. Kulishevsky has been, he's been like the Diallo of Spurs.
I have him right in the same neighborhood at 43.
Okay. I have Gravenberch at 42.
I like that.
I have Leandro Trossard at 43.
Okay.
I put Cunha at 44. So that's where I put Cunha. He was so hard for me to put. Like, talent-wise, I feel like he could be top 20. He does disappear here and there, but it's like, dude, if you gave him a surrounding cast or just dropped him on like in any of the top 6 clubs, is he a 10 times better player? Probably. But like you just haven't seen
exactly
it. So
what I was thinking. Like spot on. Like I was like, that guy is so good. Obviously, there's so many factors, but it's like he's on a team where he is the focal point, which yes, maybe adds some of that more of that allure of what he's doing for that team. But still, what you see and the stuff he does is just insane. And it's like he would be good anywhere, right?
You watch that shit roster, and then you see him with the ball, and you're like, oh, that guy's good.
Yeah,
he's good. What was that? Okay, so that was my 44, and then 45. I put Solanke.
Okay. Okay.
I know he is injured, but it's a little recent and he's coming back. So I
He
kept
was
him in there.
so good last year. I struggle with that one. He barely didn't make my list.
I,
I think just the injuries this year just I think tipped the scale for me. But
I was basically at this point, I was looking at other strikers and I
mhm.
valued him more than any striker below this point. So like
Okay.
Mateta is not better than him, I don't think. And so that was kind of my rationale.
I like it. It's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I also valued Mateta less than him, so I agree with you. My 41, I have Caicedo, who you had a little higher. I have Ndai at 42
Oh,
on Everton.
wow.
I think he is the entire creative anything on that team. I think he's being on such a shit team, he's still tending to shine more often than not. He's a huge threat dribbling at people. I just those type of players I just value. Almost it's a similar to a Cunha situation, right? Where it's like that guy seems so good, but maybe you're not getting the full picture with the team he's on. But I think he's got a lot of promise.
Yeah, I looked at the Everton roster and I just go, nah, there's no one on there.
And then I pulled out Kulishevsky at 43, and then I have
Oh, very
Hoyland
close.
at 44,
Ooh, I like that.
who has obviously struggled this year, injured, and then all the turmoil of Man U. Terrible year for him.
Okay,
But
so this.
last year,
Sorry to
I
jump
thought
you.
he was, yeah,
Solanke or Cunha or how? Or, oh my God,
Hoyland.
thank you.
Yeah.
You would take Hoyland over Solanke?
Yes, this year. You made me think about that one.
Convincing.
Yeah. No, I would. I mean, so like think about it. If you think if they both struggle this year, right, with injuries or whatever,
Sure.
right? If you were to go back to last year, so like he had a great year, right? But he was playing on Bournemouth. Hoyland looks so promising for somebody so young. Like he's still so young, right? And so like he's obviously, a vet later on in his career. Yeah, maybe that becomes a little bit of a, I value the youth and getting more years out of him, right? Which is maybe not necessarily the argument we're having here, but that might have been creeping into my mind as well in
Yeah.
terms of like who would I rather have on my team. But I think if he gets the opportunities, like we talked about how it just sucks because he's just constantly compared to Haaland, kind of big guy coming in at a young age, cross town, similar name, but he could still be so good even if he's not going to be at Haaland's levels.
I'm with you. I like Hoyland. I like what I see. I think he's going to be like a real striker.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see him on a different team.
Yeah, or just figure it out. Whatever, it just needs to get figured out.
The dust needs to
Period.
settle with that roster.
Yeah. Uh. All right.
Was he your 45?
Then 45. I have Gakpo. So
Okay, that's
you
where you
had
put Gakpo. Okay,
so just
a little
behind
lower
him.
than me. All right, so 46 for me. My dude, another one of my guys, but I put Van Heck here, center back for Brighton.
Nice.
I think he is insane. And then 47, I put Neto on Chelsea. He hasn't quite found his footing on that roster as a day-to-day player, but
Yeah.
I do not forget what he did for Wolves last season and how good he was. I think he's an incredible player, and it definitely deserves to be in the top 50. That Chelsea squad is just a shit show of like talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
48.
48.
This is kind of a respect spot, but I put Trippier in 48.
Oh,
I know he's been coming back from injury, but he's a top-notch player. I think he's still got some years left. I think he's still good. Like if he's been playing lately, so I slipped him in. 49, I put Dallo. I guarantee he's not in anyone's top 50, but I actually think Dallow's good. Every time I watch him play,
I love his flexibility. I think he's really good. He gives you so many options. I think, which is really good.
I'm not married to that take, but I think he's good, and so I put him in there. And then number 50, I already told you I had to put him in here, even though he's not a top 50 player. To me, he's top 50, and Leon Bailey, baby, Jamaica's finest, my number 50. I did it.
Love it. Bailey at 50. All right. My last five. I have Gahey at 46, who you valued a little bit higher.
Close though. I had him at 38.
Gibbs White at 47, who you had, I think, much higher.
Yeah, I had him in the 30 or 28.
Almost 20 spots ahead of me. Then I have Bernardo Silva, who you also had higher. Where was he?
26.
26.
Yeah, I think Gibbs White I put up a little too high.
And then I had to do it.
Who's your 50?
Tyler Adams at 49.
Yes. Yes, I'll drink for that.
Drake.
I thought about it, but I was like, to me, he's top 5, but he's not a top 50 player in the league.
Yeah, it's fair, especially with the injuries. But when he is on, there's not a lot of defensive mids that are at his level when he's on.
Dude,
he is legitimately good.
I was talking to somebody about him who doesn't really know. I was like, dude, if you go to a Bournemouth game, even if you're not a Bournemouth fan, put money on Bournemouth so that you have a rooting interest, and just watch Tyler Adams. He will be your favorite fucking player. When he's on your team and you see the shit that he does, it's so fucking awesome. It's like you want a guy like that on your team.
He's so good.
Fucking pitbull.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where you're like, he's still better than you expect. You see him out there, it's like, oh, he's a little undersized. I don't know. The mentality he has, it's just rises above whatever challenge is in front of him.
Doesn't matter when you're super quick and strong. Yeah, he's awesome. Okay, so there's our top 50 individually.
Yes.
Consensus. Do you have the numbers now?
I do. So just quickly to read off. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players that I had that you did not have in your top 50.
Interesting.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 players. Wait, that doesn't add up. Hold on. Quick math check.
There couldn't have been that many. Basically, the 40s were different. We probably didn't have the same.
Let's see what number I'm missing. Yeah, we'll need to double check this, but based off the averages, the top 10 averages out to Salah in first. Then we had the Haaland Palmer split, right, where they're both average out to 3. Then we have Saka 4, Van Dijk in 5th.
Okay.
Odegaard 7th, Isak 8, De Bruyne 9.
Hang on, slow down.
And then
Virgil van Dijk 5th. 6 is who?
Odegaard.
Okay.
And then we have Isak 6th.
Isak.
Wait, no, Odegaard is 6th. Sorry, Isak 7th. Yeah, De Bruyne 8th.
9.
Son 9th, and then Saliba 10th.
Okay. See, I like that we are doing a consensus because I think this actually is a better list than our individual one.
Yeah, I think so. The problem is going to be the players where only one of us had them. It's kind of an unfair ranking, right? Because so those might need to be skipped over, I would say. Well, if one person had them, but the other person did it, I think they're excluded.
But those are the 40s, right?
The first one we'll have is in the 20s, I think.
Who did you have in the 20s, or I had in the 20s that you didn't?
I had Diallo and Diaz.
Oh, both. Diallo, yeah.
Yeah. And Romero. And then you had Tonali.
Well, Romero was kind of, I think Romero is a top 50 player if he's healthy. I just didn't include him in the exercise. Why don't you just give him a 50 or maybe a 60?
Yeah, I like that. Anybody that's not on the other one, they'll just get a 60 automatically.
I think that's good.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think Diallo as a top 50 player is crazy. I think I understand.
I think you're a professional Man U hater. Is what I think you are.
I think I'm just a realist.
Have you seen him play this year?
Yeah, he's been great. He has been great.
Yeah.
He has been great. But to have him in the 20s? Nah. I don't know. Like, would you take Diallo over Leandro Trossard?
Yes.
You would. Okay. Would you take him over Wisa?
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
For like
sure.
right now, like for like one season, for like right now.
Well, it depends what you want. Like, yeah, Wisa's a striker, but like I said, I value.
You would take him over Kulishevsky? We both had him in the 40s.
Yeah, I would.
Wow. Damn. Okay.
I think he's better than you think he is.
I'm learning a lot from you right now.
I think he's better than you think he is. I will admit this.
It's just been short-lived.
It has. Yeah. And I will admit this. I do think I was, inherently it was supposed to be who's best right now.
Yeah.
But there's definitely, I think, some youth aspect that crept in a little bit, especially with
like
a guy like that, right?
It's like the Hoyland one.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, that guy's still so young too. Like, he's going to be so good. Like, imagine next year, So I think there's a little bit of that. So that's a fair argument to make against me.
Hey, I like you calling your shot because he definitely looks the part. But yeah, I just want to see a little bit more.
Okay, number 11 consensus. We have Matoma.
Oh yes. Oh man, it's a bummer we couldn't get him in the top 5. I'm shocked you had him higher than me or lower, I guess. I'm a little embarrassed about that, but I'm proud that you did.
I love it. I love Matoma more than you do. Come on.
Clearly. All right, number 12.
We have Bruno Fernandes at 12.
Man, like I wanted to drop him. I was like, how do I get him lower on my list? And I was like, you know what? He's still good, even though he's a wanker.
We have Mbumo at 13.
Dude, love that. Love
Just
that.
ahead of Gamarish in 14.
Yep.
Foden in 15. Drink Anthony Robinson
16. Hey, we got him in top 20. I think that's fair. Right? We're not being homers on this one.
Especially the last 2 years. Yeah.
Dude, if you're talking about this season, he's the number one.
He's the best left back.
I would say he's probably the best outside back. Like, who's better on the right?
Yeah, maybe Porro at times, but
we both didn't have
Porro.
I didn't forget about him. I had him and I pulled him off.
Dude, I totally forgot about him.
No, damn. I had him in my like 45 to 50 and I moved him down because as much as I like Porro, I think he is on that cusp, but man, he sucks on defense. He's just he gives effort, which is half of defending, but
yeah,
I think he exerts too much energy and focus on going forward so much, which he's fantastic at, that he needs a stud center back like Romero and Van de Ven behind him to cover his ass. And he doesn't have that now, and he's getting a little exposed.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he didn't even come into my mind, so that was probably subconscious making the right decision.
Yeah.
All right, 17, we have Gabrielle.
Okay.
18, we have Watkins.
Ali.
19, Eze. And
what did you have him at? What did you have Eze at individually?
I had him at 17.
Okay, I had him at 24. Okay, so we're pretty close.
And then making the top 20 list, we have Bowen.
Yes. Where did you have Bowen? I forget.
I had Bowen. We both had him at 21.
No, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so 21.
Right. We had McAllister combined at 21. Rice at 22. Diaz. So this is Luis Diaz at 23. Anthony Gordon 24, and Alexander Arnold at 25.
Wait, who was
I think
24?
it's
Sorry.
fair. 24 was Anthony Gordon, and then Alexander Arnold at 25.
Okay.
I feel like this averaging is working, man. Like I see the
Pretty
list, the
good.
consensus list, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it too. Diallo, we'll see.
Yeah, he's gonna be lower.
I'm fucking with you.
Oh man! All right, 20. Where are we at? 27 or 26?
26.
We have Madison.
I think that's fair for Madison.
Yeah, 27. We have Wood. 28. We have Cunha.
I think that's
29.
fair for Cunha. I think we were kind of both ends of the spectrum on that one.
We were, yeah. That was a what is that? A 29 position difference on that one.
Well, he's so tough. We already talked about it. He's tough.
Yeah. 29. We have Paqueta. We were both the same on him at 31, and then we have Wissa at 30. $31 Bernardo Silva, 32 Caicedo, 33 Gibbs White, 34 Gakpo, and then 35 Diallo. Still too high in Austin's book.
Yeah, but I understand it. Like I wouldn't do it, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I'm sure Man U fans are loving that.
Just behind him, we have Gahey, 36, Kulishevsky at 37.
Hang on, I spelled
Ruben
Gahey
Diaz.
wrong. I gotta fix it.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz at 38.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz for sure. I should have put him up there. Sorry, who was 37? Kulishevsky?
Kulishevsky, yeah. Yeah, Ruben Diaz 38, Romero 39, who we discussed, and then Tonali 40. So those are two players we each one had, the other didn't.
Sorry, 39 was what?
Romero.
Christian Romero.
And then Tonali at 40.
Yeah, dude, are you a little embarrassed that I had Tonali and you didn't?
I don't know, man. He just hasn't played a lot. Like,
yeah.
He basically missed a whole season. So, like,
well, I just want to call out.
I mean, it's not like I didn't think of him, but I was like, nah, I just don't think he qualifies here.
He is our only Italian in the top 50.
I'm glad he's there. I'm not mad with you, but
there's just not a lot of Italians in the Premier League.
Yeah, you got him. You got Chiesa, who's never playing.
Yeah, he's buried on that roster. He's not getting any time.
Emerson, who's not really Italian.
Yeah. Speaks Portuguese. Like, yeah.
Love it. 41, Austin hates it, but we have Colwell. And then Guardiola right behind him.
I don't hate it. And then I just don't think he's that good.
But we have a this is 5 defense in a row. We've got Colwell at 41, Guardiola at 42, Akanji 43, Reece James 44.
Hang on. Guardiola, it was a struggle for me to type. It was 43.
Guvadio.
Yeah, I sounded that out of my head as I was typing. What was 43?
Akanji 43.
Okay.
Reece James 44. And then Robertson 45.
I think that's fair.
You didn't round it out, huh? I didn't. No, he was in my honorable mentions, which we'll look into in a second. But
I think 45 is a good spot for him.
Yeah, and then so rounding out the top 50, we have Mainu at 46, Kanate at 47, Zabarny at 48, Elanga at 49, and Aina at 50. Just edging out John McGinn at 51.
Wait, Aina was 49?
Aina is 50. Elanga was 49.
Elanga, okay. Nice. All right.
And then the list, so then the list of players these are all players that one of us had, but the other one didn't, going down the list. But we had McGinn, I mentioned, Damsgaard, Gravenberch, Ndai, Trossard, Hoyland, Solanke,
Van Heck,
Van Hecke, Neto, Trippier, Dowlow, Tyler Adams, and Leon Bailey.
One of the guys that I was thinking about but just couldn't pull the trigger on was Kudus.
Did you? He was in my honorable mentions. Yeah. Do you have a list of honorable mentions?
I mean, not really. No.
Okay.
I mean, well, I'm trying to remember it because I had actually I might no I deleted. I had it on an Excel doc. I didn't have it on a saved file. Looking back on it, like I'm trying to remember. Kudus was definitely in the mix for this kind of group right here. Martinelli was another one that I thought about but didn't pull the trigger on. Who else? I can't really think of any others off the top of my head.
Yeah, so I had Zaboslai, who was in the mix, Trossard on mine, Neto as well, Morgan Rogers I had, Gravenberch, Tielemans, Minta on Brighton along with Van Heck, Mateta, Diogo Jota, who's just been too hurt.
Yeah.
Sells, I think, is a really good goalie on Nottingham. Iwobi, I think, has played really well recently.
True.
Anderson also on Fulham along with Jimenez.
I thought about Jimenez. I did think about Raul Jimenez at Fulham.
Yeah.
Who's been having
then I had
season.
Yeah, really good. The Van de Ven, as you mentioned, Kudus, you just named, Nori on Wolves, I think is a great player. Robertson, and then I had McGinn, Dallow, and his name crossed my mind. I had to write it down. I still think he could be fucking amazing, but Marcus Rashford should be in the top 50 list. He should be.
He can be. He can earn that spot back. He lost that spot, there, but he can definitely 100%. Earn it back. I like that. So Leon Bailey wasn't in your honorable mentions?
I just don't think he plays. I feel like he doesn't play enough.
Oh, man, he's good, though. I like him.
I feel like he's going to play even less now with all the players they brought in.
I don't know. I think he'll still start. Like, I don't think Asensio is going to be a full-time starter. I don't think Rashford's going to be a full-time starter unless he completely turns it around, which, I don't know, maybe he does. But I think it's a good gamble, but I think he's going to be all right. Yeah, I can't. Tyler Adams, you mentioned. I thought about it, but I was like, no, that's a homer pick. I can't put him in my top 50. Even though I wanted to. He's in my personal top one. He's my he's my favorite American player we have.
He's awesome.
And were there any others that I for a second thought about Cucurella, and then I said, fuck no. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I did want to, as doing the exercise for the moment, I wanted to do a reverse as well, the worst 50.
It has to be a starter though.
Yeah.
I did think about Marmouche, the new guy.
Yeah,
I was like, this dude looks like a top 50 player. He had a great year in the Bundesliga. I don't know. Tough to kind of just slide him into the mix.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish, no fucking way. You're just not that guy anymore, which is kind of sad. Kyle Walker's gone. He would have been in the mix. I actually didn't put Guardiola in my top 50. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I did notice that as I was doing scores, yeah.
And then the only one I thought about was Lisandro Martinez, but he just blew out his ACL, so he's toast.
Yeah, I immediately discounted him. That sucked. He was playing well.
Yeah, I do think he's a good player. It just sucks that he's dealing with so many injuries. But yeah, that's a good list. So real quick, I'll read through it real quick. Our top 50.
I'll read through it. I'll be right back.
Mo Salah, Cole Palmer, Erling Haaland, Saka. You didn't have to turn your camera off, but that's cool. Virgil van Dijk in 5th, Odegaard 6th, Isak, Kevin De Bruyne, Son, Saliba Matoma in 11th. Fuck yeah. Bruno Fernandes in Bomo. Bruno Gamaris 14th. Foden in 15th. Anthony Robinson, our first American, in 16th. And then Gabriel, Ollie Watkins, Eze, Bowen, McAllister, Declan Rice, Diaz, Liverpool Diaz, Anthony Gordon 24, Trent Alexander-Arnold 25th, Madison 26, Wood 27, Cunha, Paqueta, Wisa rounding out the top 30, and then Bernardo Silva, Caicedo, Gibbs, White, Gakpo, Diallo, Gahey, Kulusevski, Diaz, Romero, Tonali in 40th, Colwell in 41st, Guardiola, Akanji, Reece James, Andy Robertson, Kobe Mainu, Konate, Zabarnyi, Alanga, and then Aina, number 50. What a list. I definitely like our consensus list better than our individual list, so glad we combined those.
Yeah, I think it was really good. I think like as I was reading through the rankings of the consensus, it was like, oh yeah, that's the right spot for that guy or this guy or whoever. It was like,
yeah, it's a better spot.
Yeah,
it's a better spot.
yeah. Like, this is right. This is better.
Yeah. Yeah, I did new goalies as we mentioned, but dude, I like the list. This is good. We should do this again next season.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe around the same time.
Yeah, it'd be fun to compare.
All right, man. Well, that was good. Next up, we have Champions League this week, midweek.
Yeah.
And it's the elimination start. And we'll be back Thursday. I will not be drinking, though, because I am once again doing surgery prep. So I can't have alcohol 7 days leading up to surgery. Hopefully I don't get COVID this time and have to reschedule my surgery again. Because that fucking sucked.
He'll be in the home stretch. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so Thursday we'll revisit, talk about some Champions League, and then play some bets for our match week. What is it like? We're getting
25.
Close to the end. 25.
25 gone up, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last question before we go. How you feeling about Jimmy Butler on the Warriors?
I'm just happy we did something serious. Like, it's been too much playing around the edges. Yeah, I mean, I hope he shows up and he plays hard like he has in the past. I think he will. I think he's happy to be out of the situation he was in. Obviously, I'm going to be praying for that, and maybe a wiser fan of a different team would think that that's a risky bet, but I think it's an improvement for us. It's so competitive in the West that all this does is just give us a chance to be in the mix, like that's it. But hopefully in the offseason we can make some additional moves and really make a run for it next year. But I don't know if Jimmy Buckets comes in as Jimmy Buckets, who knows, man? Things should be great.
I think it was a great move. The fact that you held on to Kuminga and Moody is huge.
Yeah.
Like, you gave up Wiggins.
Yeah. Schroeder wasn't doing anything for us.
Wiggins wasn't doing anything for you. Like, he balled out and helped you guys win a championship and hasn't done shit since. He's like, that's Andrew Wiggins. Like, you just can't rely on him 365. So I think it was a good move for you guys.
Yeah, I'm just happy we did so, man. Like, we tried to, we're going for it. So this was the clearest sign we've seen yet, right? That we're in it now with the end of Steph's career. We're going for it.
Now you just got to make the playoffs.
Yeah, please.
That West is deep.
It's insane, man. It's tough.
All right, dude. Well, I'll talk to you Thursday.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
See you then.
That was an hour.
Damn.